Hey everyone, how's it going? This is Deputy Michael McGlenn here. Gonna play us some good old modern mill today. Hoping for some fortuitous results, if results at all. Alright, so here's the deck that I've been thinking about playing with today. So the other day I was thinking like, all right, how do I think I can make, you know, mill a little bit better? And I'm realizing that like the one card that I hate playing, or at least like this type of card that I hate playing in mill, are those glimpse the unthinkable / maddening cacophony effects, where it's 2 mana straight shot bunch of mill. Some people might argue that they're kind of necessary for the deck in terms of being able to have a certain amount of velocity to get through your opponent's deck as much as possible. I can understand where that's coming from. Believe me. However, it it's not exactly the most fun or interactive play in the world. So I've removed those effects from the deck and I'm playing more interaction. So basically we're milling off the backs of our crabs and the archive traps and the mesmeric orbs. So our mill package is essentially 16 cards instead of usually like 20, 19 maybe if you play 3 mesmeric orbs or something like that. And then our mill payoff, we've still got Visions of Beyond and Drown in the Loch. And then Drown in the Loch here sort of doubles as both a payoff and an interactive spell. Mission Briefing sort of acts as a 5th archive trap or a Swiss Army knife sort of thing. I'm a big fan of just having a mana leak around. But what I did want to play is I wanted to play some hand disruption. See how that goes. I know Mill has like sort of toyed with hand disruption in the past. I don't know. I kind of like, if I don't have a play to, crab on turn 1, I'd like to do something more than just maybe hold up a fetch land / a fatal push, something like that. I'd rather be proactive than reactive. Especially on turn 1 sort of thing. Turn 2 is a little bit different, If you Inquisition somebody, get at least 1 card in their graveyard, maybe a second if they fetched, something like that. Excuse me. Being able to hold up a Drown in the Loch on turn 2, that's pretty decent. 1 or 2 cards, at that point in the game is every spell, basically. So, and then I've also got 4 surgical effects in the main board in 3 surgical extractions and an extirpate. I don't usually like extirpate too much because you have to pay the 1 black for it. But at the same time, it's really great against, those like mono red decks that have Lava Dart in it. Lava Dart's just like, oh my god, please stop. Great, like, I mean, it's a great card, but like Lava Dart really, really kills Mill in those sort of red matchups. Still got 4 fatal pushes, so fatal pushes and Drown in the Lochs are going to be like our main removal spells. So that's the thing, is like this list is definitely lighter, I think, on the removal side, because I've seen some people going like fatal pushes, maybe like 3 or 4 Blood Chief's Thirst. The other thing too is I was really, really trying to avoid, sort of sorcery speed effects, except for maybe the Inquisitions. I think they're the only main board sorceries that I have. Mesmeric Orbs and like the crabs being permanents that I would play at sorcery speed. I got 2 Cling to Dusts. Every time that Cling to Dust shows up, or like doesn't show up, it's like, playing 1 of is pretty normal. But every time it's just like, wow, I wish I could see another Cling to Dust. Helps a little bit with the red matchups, I think, especially now that like there's like a decent amount of just strict burn going around. I'd rather have a Cling to Dust, just to gain maybe a little bit of life if I need to. So my mana base is pretty standard. I've got the Oboro in there, which I know some people are like on and off about, for yeah, 4 islands, 2 swamps. I was unsure whether to go like 3 island, 3 swamps because this deck is a little bit heavy on the black stuff, especially because we're essentially switching out the um, those, the maddening cacophonies for things like Inquisition of Kozilek. Um, Lurrus is a double black spell, but nothing in the main deck requires more than 1 black pip. So it was like, yeah. The sideboard, Lurrus itself, double black. Damnation, double black. We got a lot of double blue as well in the main board. Well, at least Mission Briefing is, and then Archive Trap technically is. So I'm only playing 3 Field of Ruin, and Mikokoro is my 4th colorless source. I kind of only like having 4 colorless sources, especially now that we're playing 4 Drown in the Lochs. There's a lot fewer colorless pips or generic mana pips in the deck. So like for a while, 4 Field of Ruins and Mikokoro has been something I liked, but would rather I put in another colorless source somewhere. I think that ended up, or another colored source. I think that ended up being another basic. So I think that's where the 4th island came from, because 3 and 2 is also another pretty common configuration. Mikokoro, sometimes I have to defend this card, but I love it a lot. This deck sometimes has trouble drawing cards. That's the other impetus behind another Cling to Dust, just another card to look at. So in the sideboard, what I've got 4 Aether Gusts for the red decks, pretty good against the Uro green and any sort of Titan deck. Pretty good against the like a Spike Feeder or something like that as well. Tail's End is a one of more like a personal favorite. Sometimes like Tail's End just gets you out of stuff. Maybe it it saves you a turn, buys you a turn, or something like that. A couple of Crypt Incursions because they're pretty standard in case you're playing against a creature deck or a fast red deck or something like that. They just they can get you a lot of life. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, they might be like a little bit worse with the fewer mill cards. But we'll see how that goes. Got Damnation and we got Force of Despair. Force of Despair again, another personal favorite card of mine. Sometimes you can just get some people with it. It's either this or Bontu's Last Reckoning. Those are kind of like the board wipes that we sort of flip between here. Bontu's is great as well. Force of Despair, though, instant speed, which is kind of cool. You have the ability to maybe cast it for free, which is, I did throw a few more black cards in the deck, so I mean, it's not like that was a bit of a conscious decision as well. Usually you see Mill being like close to, like it's mostly blue and like a little bit of black for like the removal and stuff like that. But let's see if I can just sort of switch this around. I'm certain there's a button that will just do this for me, but yeah, we're looking at 13 straight black, 18 blue, and then 4 multicolored cards there. It's a little bit closer to 50-50 than it normally is. Then I got Profane Memento, again, great against red decks, and Soul Guide Lantern, just for some graveyard hate. Soul Guide Lantern works very well with Lurrus, works very well with, if opponent's playing like a shuffle effect, which shuffle effects are definitely down in popularity. So a couple of situations that I see being problematic with this build are, well, main deck shuffle effects. If those, sort of exist, then that's, kind of always a problem. Regardless of what mill build you're playing, you can hope to surgical it or something, but it's not likely. It's not likely you're not likely gonna win a game after something like that, especially if I've taken out 4 cards that just do direct mill. Let's see. The other thing that I see is if somebody's playing Chalice, Chalice on 1's very strong against us, and we don't have any main deck removal for it. We don't even have any really side deck removal for it. I think against hate pieces like Chalice, and then the other big one being Leyline of Sanctity. Leyline of Sanctity cuts off half of our mill sources in Hedron Crab and Archive Trap, which is kind of why I really like Maddening Cacophony. It gets around it. Ruin Crab also gets around it. So if we play against like Boggles, Adnaz, those things are probably going to be a problem. You know what? Because I could see, especially like Adnaz, it's kind of popular right now. I could kind of see playing, what's it called? The black enchantments or creature destruction spell from Zendikar. The 2-drop. It could be possible. So that'll be something that I'll look into if we certainly die really, really hard. But yeah, let's jump into a league and see how this goes. Yeah, so I hope that was like a little bit of an okay introduction to the deck. I did play this did play one short league with like a pretty similar deck the other day. That's why you'll see like the deck says like brew January 19th. Did 3-2 with it. And sort of there's a couple of things that I've switched around from it. So like those include I added some more Drown in the Lochs. What did I also do? I added a third Inquisition of Kozilek. I added the mission briefing. I took out Bloodchief's Thirsts because they were feeling kind of medium at the moment. All right, so we're on the play. Let's reveal our Cat Nightmare. So here we got one land. We've got some Ruin Crabs. Everything in here is a 1-drop. So we can draw a card off Cling to Dust. I think I'll keep it. Drawing a land next turn is going to be imperative to make this thing go. If this like, you know, the Cling to Dust or the Surgical was a second land, this would be bananas, but it is not. And so here we are. Pass through to our opponent. Oh, I was also playing Fraying Sandy. That was the other card that I was playing. Go our Boreal Grazer from them. Alright, so this is some sort of Titan. Alright, land off the top would be excellent. Mission briefing. Well, let's draw off of Visions of Beyond. Alright, we're looking pretty bad now. Usually this matchup's pretty decent for us. I mean, excuse me. It's usually very good for us. I've even had times where, you know, stuck on 2 or 3 lands, this sort of, you know, Titans not got a lot of game against Mill besides being able to just like strictly power through it. And I know I'm going to eat my words here, but all right. That goes to their hand. Here, I'll just start yielding because like we're all good here. I don't think they'll end up searching their library this turn. They get a second Grazer out. This looks like it's going to be a decent amount of mana for them. Gain some life. Sure. For 3, maybe they play nothing. Okay, they might just have not much to do right now. Okay, that's good. And there's a second crab. And there's a delta. If we can... There's a dryad there. So the thing is, like, if we can snag a dryad... Alright, they've got a prime time in hand. And they've got a Summoner's Pact. So let's see. Next turn, it looks like they can go... They can generate enough mana to play the Primeval Titan. They'll search... I'm going to take Dryad away from them, just in case. So they hit a Karn the Great Creator. Are they playing any main board shuffle effects? They are not. So I can leave those in, it looks like. Nothing... They put their growth chamber down. Sure. And prime time's gonna come out. They're gonna go and grab. Let's see. Do they have the... They got the Boros Garrison. Just looking through their main deck. I was going to say, it doesn't look like they've got... Okay, so those untap. Nothing's going on for them. Let's hit them with Archive Trap. There's an Oboro. Okay, so... Looks like Mission Briefing Visions of Beyond or Mission Briefing Archive Trap will do it. They grab Carney. They're going to go grab something from their board here. Is it going to be EE? So they go EE on 2. Sorry, EE on 1. Okay. Blow up the crabs. I think that's going to be fine. Search a couple cards from their library. They'll make a couple zombies. Alright, and by taking 2 cards out of their library, they've just lost the game. All right, and there we have that. So yeah, we stumbled quite a bit on, you know, keeping a one lander, that sort of thing, but didn't burn us in the end. I don't think our opponents their deck wasn't exactly, they didn't have the most aggressive start for sure. So I'm gonna bring in Soul Guide Lanterns. I'm gonna bring in the Aether Gusts. I'm gonna bring in Tail's End as well, just in case. So normally this matchup is one that I might bring the orbs out, but like, yeah. So fatal pushes are pretty bad here. So they'll come out. Cling to Dust's not super great. And Inquisition's not super great either. The rest seems okay though. Yeah, normally I'd bring Mesmeric Orb out. But I don't know. Since we're down so much mill power as it is, it's something that I'm looking to keep in. Yeah, so this hand looks pretty sweet. Aether Gust's looking good. They'll mull the 6. Start with Breeding Pool and into Amulet. I'm going to start with Watery Grave. And you know what? I think I'm actually going to start with an Inquisition. Well, yeah. So opponent doesn't have a ton going on. Like the obviously the Amulet and a couple of these is really good. So they'll tap 3. Ah, they drew Dryad. Cool. Dryad's gonna get sent back to the top of their deck. Let's see. Yeah. They've got a land and they've got Titan. Okay, so they're going to keep that on top. And they've got X, and they've got Titan, and Dryad. Land Titan, sorry. Alright, now they're going to go for a Titan. After they do some land bouncies, yada yada yada. Don't know why they use the Castle Garenbrig like that. And put it on top, and it gets milled there. What I am concerned about right now is not having something to necessarily deal with in case they've got like a some sort of shuffle effect going on. Now they're at 2 unknowns in hand. Two unknowns on land. Gonna explore. Second Dryad, sure. Playing some lands, milling some cards. Gonna Pact, and they'll grab a Titan. Ah, and they have enough to play it. Cool, cool, cool. Hey, dog. Hey, Ryan, we're playing some good old Milskies. Titans doing Titan things. We beat them in game 1, though. Let's see. They don't have enough things to Valakut things. They've got 1 land in hand. So this is probably the end of their turn. I saw you sent me it. It looks... I haven't checked it out yet, but I'm sure it'll be sick. Testing this out to see if they've got any shuffle effects going on. Haven't seen anything so far. I mean, you know, zombies can only take you so far, I think. But, or especially green-black zombies. All right, they'll tap down. They're packed. I milled their Valakut. Did they have a second Valakut? No, they just had 1. Opponent with no fear. Generating mana. It's the lack of fear that makes me think that they've still got a shuffle effect in there some way. All right, they got Ancient Stirrings. They reveal Corn, the pretty good creator. And I wonder what they're going to Corn for. Last time I think they grabbed... Shoot, what did they grab? That's cool. Schools for chumps. No, I'm just kidding. They grabbed a Walking Ballista. So they're coming in here for... Okay, they can at least get a Ballista for... Let's see. For 2. A Ballista on 2. So I have to at least survive with 2 life here. So that means I think I might be throwing some crabs in front of something. What soaks up the most damage? Well, crabs in front of Titan is the same as crabs in front of Dryads in terms of power. Let's see, 6. Alright, they did not play the Ballista. Alright. So we can mill them for 10 with the Mesmeric Orb. Our current record is this is match 1. We are up a game. All right, so they've milled themselves out now. Oh, they can probably just play a big Ballista, can't they? It is enough of a Ballista to win. Yep. Okay, so they didn't have any shuffle effects, which makes me feel pretty good. I'm going to run it back again. I believe I played correctly with the blocks, with the crabs and stuff like that, which was fine. Yeah, we can keep this. Don't have any black spells, but don't have any black lands, so... Talaria West. Sweet. Yeah, let's get this Polluted Delta out. Dryad, Force of Vigor. Interesting. Okay, I'm looking there for if I hit a prime time there, then I can just surgical it out, be done with it, you know. But now I'm just holding up the old Mana Leak Aether Gust pair. All right. Well, I think I'm just gonna take out Dryad, cause like that wins more games than Titan does. I'll be honest. All right, so they got a Titan in hand. That is good to know. As long as they don't get to a Cavern of Souls. Yeah, so they got Rex Sage Prime Time in hand. Any shuffle effects from them? Looks like no. Gaia's Blessing, no shuffly boys. Bunch of lands. Primetime and Rex Sage and Karn is their hand. Looks good. Okay. Hey, Greg, how's it going? All right, let's play Field of Ruin and just ruin their day. we are playing sort of like a different take on modern blue black mill. It's basically like, instead of playing like a ton of the dumb spells that are like you pay 2, you mill 4 or 8 or like whatever, it's basically just playing a little bit of mill, a lot more interaction. And we're playing against. Yeah, we're gonna play some Burning Inquiry Dredge at some point. We can do that after this. All right, so they explore. Looks good. They're almost at 20 in Graveyard, which is perfect for Visions of Beyond. I'll counter this. Yeah, Drown in the Loch seems. No, I'll use the Mana Leak on it. Sorry, friendo. We go Talaria West. And we'll play Ancestral Recall. We'll recall again. You can't even do that in Vintage. I'm surprised that we haven't hit one of their Titans yet in their graveyard, but that is totally cool by me. We are shredding them up. Actually, you know what? Yeah, before their turn, let's go grab a swamp, because I really want to extirpate one of their Titans. Still nothing yet. Wow. There's Cavern, which means we can't drown in the Loch of Titan, but we can Aether Gust it, because Aether Gust is messed up. Yeah, we can counter your Karn. Let's get a fresh face in. Let's play Mikokoro. I'm still on the Mikokoro train. There's prime time. Alright, let's get that out of there. Extirpate! So they got Rex Sage and a bunch of lands. They literally have no way to win the game anymore. Since I've also taken their Dryads as well. GG. No re. All right. So that's the power of Mill versus Titan. Oh. Right. So yeah, so this build was basically like Madden Cacophony and Glimpse the Unthinkable. I was like, I don't want to play those cards. They make me feel like a dum-dum when I cast them. Just like the strict mill sorcery cards. So I was like, let's play Interaction, let's play Instant Speed, and let's play Hand Disruption. Make our turn ones either play Crab or Hand Disruption, and then we can chill on all our other turns. We'll see how that goes. So far, no complaints. Um, it's basically blue-black control with mill as the win con. Yeah. There's also, at some point, I would like to introduce the world to a deck. Oh, my opponent has also revealed Lurrus. They're going to go first. I'm going to mulligan this. No colored sources. Lots of sources. I don't really want to go much further down, but this hand kind of doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'll go down to 5. Okay, actually, no. Rewarded for going down to 5. So let's get rid of Cling and Surgical. Yeah. So they'll go Crypt into Bowmat. Sweet. Alright. Alright. Third land. Looks good. Alright, we're going to give him the old Inquisition. Aha. Scourge of the Skyclaves. Pretty tough card for us to beat. Well, they do have a fetch land, which is good to see. They do have Lurrus. I don't have a crab, so I'm not too worried about the Fatal Push. The Lightning Bolt is direct damage, though. I think Lightning Bolt's the card that is going to make me suffer the most at the end of the day. But, you know, they probably just drew a Lightning Bolt again, because that's how hand attack works. Alright, coming from Bowmat. They go. Sunbaked Pizza, Scourge. Okay. I will probably have to burn this Visions straight up here. Which kind of sucks, but not having any way to deal with these fine folks is pretty disorienting, disheartening. I don't know. Scourge not gonna do a whole ton when my opponent is not doing a lot of damage to themselves as well. I'm surprised they didn't do that in the first main phase, but they put Lurrus into hand. Looks good. Gonna grab an island here. We're gonna play Ancestral Recall. The second orb. A second crab. I really like taking out their Croxas because that's gonna kill us pretty good. They've got 8 power on board. The other argument is taking out their Fatal Pushes. They don't have any revealed. Okay, so I'll just take out... I'll take Croxa out on their draw step. They had the one Croxa. So they've got Push, Death Shadow, couple lands, and Lurrus. Although they've got Bloodstained Mire, which theoretically takes them to 10, which kills us. So if they see that line, then we're dead. But if they don't see that line, they did not take that line. Okay, there's the push. We'll take 8. They play a Death Shadow. They crack their bow mat looking for a bolt. Did not have the bolt. We got to deal with 2 things. And we are dead. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So the red decks with this stuff. Soul Guide Lantern, Profane Memento. Bring in some of this stuff. Dang. Pretty much our whole sideboard looks pretty good for this, not gonna lie. Let's see. I don't like the surgicals. The Paying Life is not great. Inquisition's not super hot. Orb is really slow. The problem is like that's what like I'm thinking as well, Orb, but it's also like I've already cut my whole deck has cut a bunch of mill. I think it is probably correct though, just based on the I just would rather play interaction than just play a Mesmeric Orb. Yeah, I'll cut all the orbs. I'll bring in something here as well. I guess Aether Gust is probably better than Tail's End here. All right. No colored sources again. That's too bad. Yay. Well, I'm gonna keep this. I think it's Drown in the Loch that I put back. No, it's Mission Briefing for now. Well, I can cast Mission Briefing at least. Yeah, I think it's Drown in the Loch. All right, they're probably going to take, I don't know. They take the Mission Briefing, sure. It's the only real card that we can cast, and we cannot play around it. All right, that's a good draw. We can get Watery Grave off of this. Swifty. Alright, there's the bauble. Maybe they're thinking botsies. Yeah. We probably should take Crypt Incursion, but we actually have to mill them a bit for it to turn on. Yeah, there it is. That was just a bonkers bad opening hand, but it was better than... Oh, no worries. No worries, Ryan. Yeah, it was just extremely unfortunate. So they're going to know what I'm going to draw here. Which is this crab. All right, I think I'm going to use my powers for good. I'm guessing that they've got Fatal Push in hand. They've got Bomat, Bolt, and Scourge in hand. I was very close. I almost guessed the Scourge. But the Bolt's pretty good for them. The Swift Fuse is pretty good for them. They're probably going to be doing a lot of damage to me. Yeah, they bolt the crab out of the way. They're probably going to play Bomat? Oh, yeah, they drew a card off of that as well. There's a swamp from them. Bomat. All right. Down to 13? Yeah. Which is not as bad considering who we're playing against here. We're going to put a Lurrus into our hand and say go. If we can get Lurrus out, get one more land here, get the Damnation sort of thing going. Yeah, if we can draw Black Source. Use your powers for good and think draw Black Source. Because they're going to go Scourge to get more pressure on us here. And a second Bomat. All right. All powers. Everyone. Think Black Source. Untapped Black Source off the top. Yeah, because if it's Darkslick Shores, that's just the ultimate troll. Okay, it's Fatal Push. Well, that kills Scourge of the Skyclaves and prevents us from dying. At least immediately. There's Inquisition. So, kill the Scourge now. They'll probably take... I mean, the only thing they can take here is Lurrus. Let's see. I wonder if they'll attack and then pop both Bomats, like, in their second main phase before they get Damnationed. Well, I mean, actually, they'll probably wait until I cast Damnation. I mean, I guess, you know, if they draw 2 bolts off of them, then that's game over. But there's an Oboro, which is probably game over then. Oh, man. I was toying with, like, 4 islands versus... I'm at 4 islands, 2 swamps. I was definitely at first I was like 3 islands, 3 swamps. Yeah, we beat prime time. All right, so they'll do 3 to us, and then if they can pop a bolt off of one of these, then that's game. I mean, we're technically not dead, but we're dead. We would have had to draw an exactly swamp the next turn to survive at 1 life, and they would have had to draw 0 burn spells or playable spells off of their Bomat Couriers. That was unfortunate. Both those games, like, I think that's a pretty winnable deck that we can, like, the Rakdos Death Shadow deck is, like, we can beat that deck. I feel like we got some pretty unlucky draws there, but I don't want to blame it on that. Yeah, no keepable 7s versus a Thoughtseize deck. Womp womp, right? So. All right, match 3. Let's stabilize a bit here. All right, we're gonna be on the play. Reveal our Lurrus. Sounds kind of slow, but I don't mind it. Yeah, let's see how this goes. Gonna lead out with Flooded Strand and probably grab a Watery Grave. Tapped. You know what? Maybe I'll lead with the Delta. Grab a swamp if need be. Black Cleave Cliffs. They're gonna Inquisition us. You got it. This is probably some sort of. This is either Jund or this is the Rakdos mid-range deck. Top deck and a crab seems pretty good. Yeah, let's get the Flooded Strand in there. Yeah, this is the mid-range deck. Yeah, but different Rakdos. There's like 6 different Rakdos decks in the formats right now. Dreadbore on the crab. I accept your invitation. Have some delicious mill. Yeah, okay, yeah. They mainboard Blood Moon. Yuck. Yucky, yucky. Wow, just basic city, hey? Yeah, I'll send in the swamp. Alright, they go Mire. Liliana the Veil. Yeah, they knew that was coming. They've got Thoughtseize, they've got Push. They got Hazoret. Let's go. That thing is going to do some damage to us. Guess we'll take their Thoughtseize. Actually, there was definitely an argument to taking that turn to oh yeah, here comes Kroxa. Taking that turn to Play Lurrus. I know they got Hazoret. They played the Blood Crypt. They've also got Fatal Push. Yeah. I think it's get Lurrus into hand, lose this Inquisition to them playing Kroxa again. Kroxa, aka Evil Uro. Yeah, that's fair. Crooks is pretty sweet. They push our crap. Sure, that's fine. Oh, that was a very good draw from them. That's probably game over, especially because we're going to discard the Drown in the Loch. Yeah. Kroxa represents 9 damage there. Oof. Alright. Rakdos midrange. I like Soul Guide. Just thinking about the same way. It's almost like boarding against Jund in a way. Don't like the Inquisitions against them. The surgical extirpate stuff is fine. Fatal push is fine. Drown the Loch's like good, but I'll bring in the cheeky Tails End. Force of Despair is not good. I think it's Aether Gust. Evil Uro. Yeah. Nico recently showed me that Kroxa is Evil Uro, and so this doesn't have a black source until Field of Ruin resolves, but I'm going to keep it off the strength of Crab. And keeping 7's good against Thoughtseize. Yeah, so it's Kroxa's Evil Uro, and then Angrath from Rivals of Ixalan is Evil Teferi. Yeah, Watery Grave's a good draw there. I'm going to try and take out their Fatal Push. This is also a bit to see what they've got going on in their hand. Alright, so stole one of their Fatal Pushes, which is pretty sweet. Let's see. Blood Moon, Dreadbore. Let's see. EE. That's some fun stuff. Got EE, Dreadbore Blood Moon. So that Blood Moon's looking kind of scary. I think I gotta go grab a swamp with this, unfortunately. They play Godless Shrine tapped. They got EE. Dreadbore is a sorcery spell. So them not playing Blood Moon was pretty good. And that drawing that island was pretty great as well. So now they go Blood Moon. Now let's blow up that. Yeah, Blood Moon's in the house. EE on 2? I guess that's in case we draw Mesmeric Orb. Lurrus is unfortunately kind of useless here without a second swamp. And we've only got one other swamp. Gotta find an Aether Gust somewhere, probably. Alright, let's cling to dust something of theirs. That gave us a Mikokoro. And let's just draw a card because nobody's getting close to that anytime soon. Soul Guide's not bad. Sure. Soul Guide, interestingly enough, cannot get engineered explosives here. I got EE on 1 here. Okay. Now I'm going to start sandbagging some of these lands in case we find crabs, that sort of thing. Drown in the Loch, that's a pretty good find. I'm going to put Lurrus into my hand anyway. I think I got a Soul Guide Lantern here at least, just to draw a card. Another land. Looking good. Archive Trap, not super useful anymore. This matchup has gotten this game has gotten really weird. They're going to go with the Thoughtseize. That is a-okay by me. Take your pick. They might take the Archive Trap. I can hardcast the Archive Trap too, which is, you know, maybe something worth doing. That might turn on their whole deck though, so. If they don't take the Archive Trap, it might be the Drown in the Loch that they take. I also don't mind them putting stuff in my graveyard because it means I can keep Cling to Dust going. They take the draw on the Loch. Okay. Alright. Then I'm going to take Kroxa out of their deck. They've got Dreadbore, K-Command, K-Command, Bolt. I did put a Seasoned Pyromancer in their graveyard, which is worth noting. I've untapped, though, which means that I can Tails End their Seasoned Pyromancer trigger. That's where Tails End sometimes comes in and just is like, hey, everyone, I'm playable. Actually, you know what? They can't do it right now with their mana, so I might as well exile their Seasoned Pyromancer. All right, they save it. And they'll give me the Bolt for that. They got a second K-Command, they got a Seasoned Pyromancer, and they got an Unknown, and they got Dreadbore. All right, they'll probably take Tails End here. They take the Lurrus. Sure. I've still got a lot of things in this deck that are able to help me out. Yeah, I've got 3 Archive Traps still. I've not seen a single crab this game. Yeah, not a single crab this game. What are they grabbing back? Channeler comes back to hand. You got it. I'll take some damage there. Dreadbore, Channeler. That one guy. There's the Channeler. Sure. It's a 4/4. And a second Channeler. And they got 2 4/4s. That's a clock. Okay, Cling to Dust. Tails End, I know. I was expecting Tails End was like so close to being a house, but here we are in the year 2020. Let's see. Let's go. I think I want to draw a card instead. That was a pretty good draw. Okay. Uh-oh. I expected them to have another creature in their graveyard. And they've only got walkers and stuff. So I can't gain life off of Clink to Dust, unfortunately. So I guess I'm just going to eat something else. And they've got the power on board. That was a weird game of not exactly drawing the cards we wanted to see. So, you know, obviously, like any of these red black decks, not exactly the best matchups for us, but but that's how it goes. You see some good matchups, you see some bad matchups. Mill has a lot of very swingy matchups, if you will. Excuse me? That's inappropriate. No, I've quit Pioneer again. I was telling them about how I was telling everyone about how Kroxa is evil Uro and Angrath is evil Teferi. All right, we're going to be on the draw with our spooky cat. This is looking good. Is this, if they do nothing, it might be Adnaz. If they do something, it's probably Mill. Fairy Seer. Excuse me, sir. Is this ninjas? I hope to God this is ninjas. How did they scry? 2 cards on the bottom. Part of me wants to push this now. But also, because, like, if this is ninjas, then they can't do anything without one of these boys. This is fairies. It's not that big a deal. All right, they got. Oh, is it fairies? They pushed the crab. Rude. Oh, this is looking more fairies than ninjas. New crab. It's ninjas. Oh, let's go. The jig is up. We're going in. Double mana leak. Ninja of the Deep Hours. All right. So, Inquisition and Fatal Push aren't great cards against such big spell cards like ninjas. It's good to know that they've got mana leak up, or at least they have mana leak. They've drawn something. We do have drown, so like it's not so bad. Having Field of Ruins pretty nice. Yeah. You're gonna get in. You're probably gonna draw a card. That's the thing with ninjas. You spend all your mana on just drawing cards. Schwimp. Oh man, I can't believe you've done this. So they got another fairy in hand. They're probably looking for a third land, honestly, so that they can play that fairy back again. Okay, they got a tap land. They're tapped out. Can blow up their tar pit and then fatal push the ninja. I kind of like that. Or do we want to just drown it? Yeah, let's just do that. Got another ninja. I see, I see. Drown in the Loch. No ninja action from them. Okay. Okay, go for a little scry. They go scry to the top. Interesting. Let's get rid of their Fairy Seer. And those cards from the top of their library, they're going to the graveyard. Je suis sorry, my friend. Oh, the fallen shinobi. My boy. My boy, he has fallen. All right. We got that game on lockdown. Inquisition against so many big ninjas. Yeah, I was there. Zombies. They're just so good. Yeah. The only reason I was thinking Crypt is like, no, they don't do a ton of damage, but like they're a creature deck, so it's gonna be like a real big Crypt Incursion. Same thing with like the Profane Memento, just because they have so many creatures, I was just like, eh. But like, at least the Mementos are kind of dumb. I'll agree with that for sure. Yeah, leaky. I'm just thinking, what are they gonna be? What are they gonna be bringing in? They're gonna be bringing in their own hand attack probably, and like IDK, my BFF Jill. Maybe Cling, just it draws a card. Same thing with Soul Guide Lantern. Leaky. I don't know. Blue black versus blue black. The absolute thrill of it all. Isn't it going to be great when we can Tails End someone's ninjutsu trigger? That'll be the best. Force of Despair, the best force of. I know you're a fan. This is a one-lander, but like we're looking pretty stocked. Throw Damn Boy back. All right, Tar Pit from them. Oh, Darkslick. Favorite land of all time. Always comes in clutch, except when it doesn't. All right. They'll probably take the Drown in the Loch, I think. Or maybe the second crab. Second crab, sure. Drown in the Loch would have been a pretty nice take from them. Oh, do they have a second-hand disruption card? Or is this push fatal? It certainly is. Well, that's fine. Drown in the Loch is going to be able to counter anything. Basically. I don't think they play really like a 3-drop or anything in their deck. Yo, that's rude. Yo, fam, that's rude. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Sometimes, I don't know. I'm always a fan of just sending the crabs. Sending in the crabs. Sending the boys. Nothing from them. You got it. They'll probably take one of our Drown in the Lochs. Yeah. The good one. They took the good one. I'm going to take out their Creeping Tar Pit because it's just creepy. Yeah, this Soul Guide Lantern is just here to draw a card. We might be looking kind of Lurrus-y in the next little bit, if you know what I mean. So their problem, it looks like, is very similar to our problem when we played Ninjas, which was a lot of... Oh, shit. Yeah, we can't stop this one. They don't have enough creatures in their... Or not enough cards in their graveyard. We've been fooled. Changeling Outcast. Let's draw a card. Okay. Let's draw another card. Gonna bring the cat in. Cat's in the bag. The cat is in the bag. All right, now they got 4 lands, which is dangerous. That is crazy God Ninja territory. Spellstutter Sprite. All right. Let's not die to friggin' big master ninjutsu friend. Ooh. All right, so they're gonna go. Do they have a ninjutsu on anything here? Yeah, they can draw some more cards. We're down to 6. They'll probably play their outcast. Hey, if we top deck our damnation, or yeah, then I'd say we're back in it. They are representing lethal, as it were. All right, they got us that time. We were hogtied due to our lack of grace. They ended up having the counter magic. Yeah, Force of Despair. Let's go. Let's talk about the greatest card that no one is playing. It is the ultimate anti-storm tech. Yeah, super good against oops. You know what's really funny? When Mill is playing against oops, they just like don't care. They just put in their like 1/4s and just beat the shit out of you with them. Or their whatever they are. They're just like, yeah, I'm not even gonna bother. It's so funny. All right. Only one crab. Let's see. Do they have they have a push hand or do they have an Inquisition hand? Is the crab safer on the field or in the hand? They go Delta. All right. Inquisition. Yeah, you got it. They will probably take the crab here. One of my favorite plays is bouncing Oboro to your hand to turn on Fatal Push. That is true blue magic there. We are, as this land implies, flooded. All right, nothing from them. Maybe they've just got like mana leak or something. Let's put some cards in our yard. Oh, there she is. Did you know you can use Lurrus to use Force of Despair? All right, we're probably going to take one here. Do they ninjutsu? Who do they grab? They grab this one, so they'll draw a card. And then nothing from them. Okay. Mikokoro, personal favorite. It's going to go for a Dismember on the Lurrus. Yeah, you got it. And a push on the Crab. Wow. They're going to draw another card. Still no lands from them. Okay, there they got a land. That land can be for whatever you imagine. All right, they're down to 23 cards. Let's see what we've got. Yeah, we'll just keep letting them draw some cards. Very nice, very nice. Drown in the Loch looks good. Cling to Dust is also a good thing to have in our graveyard right now. It means we get to we can gain our life back that we're losing to this thing. Spellstutter Sprite, sure. You got it, fam. Gonna gain ourselves a little bit of life here. Don't need to play out the Mesmeric Orb. Our first one's doing enough to them. So, eat another card from their graveyard. Surprised they haven't tried to Creeping Tar Pit us, but you know, that's probably just because they've got some sort of counter magic for us doing this. As soon as they tap out like a little bit more, the other orb comes down and they untap and lose. Miscast. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They would lose on their next draw trigger there. Yeah, I think I'll let that happen. No. And we got there against ninjas, a very formidable foe. Yeah. Who would play ninjas? I don't know. uh Nico, have you seen the Rakdos um cat oven slash zombie tribal deck that's been going a little bit? It's basically like, so you've got like cat oven and um what's his name, Mayhem Devil. That's sort of like part of the engine. You're also playing Aether. Then the other cards that you're playing are zombie synergy cards like Grave Crawler, Carrion Feeder, Messy G. Um, who else is in there? Oh, the Undead Augur. It looks like it's a fun time. Oh, Dreadhorde Butcher is also in there as well, and Dreadhorde Butcher with like Carrion Feeder, Undead Augur, and Mayhem Devil, like that stuff's super good. You will not be playing that? I can't believe it. Too many Rakdos decks. Alright, we are on the play. This hand looks friggin' like a baller time. Needs more Dreadbore, am I right? Yeah, blue green for life. You know what the worst thing is? Is so last night I was testing a deck, otherwise known as Grixis Karn Crank. I will not go into more details than that. But the worst thing about, oh no, this is actually Faeries. This is actually Faeries. Is everybody in the like testing room and stuff like that? They're literally just playing friggin' um uh they're all just playing the rack, and it's so annoying. It's like I wanted to play against real decks, but everybody's just like, I'm here to play the rack, actually. We're winning. You want to do some vintage mana traders? That'd be fun. Oh, mission briefing, my baby. Obstinate Balon, yeah. Snapcaster for Inquisition. Yeah, I guess I'll take my Lurrus this way. It's a good draw, opponent. Good draw. They're going to take the Lurrus or the mission briefing? Yeah, they got to take the Lurrus. Mikokoro, Center of Desperation. Sick. Mesmeric Orb, super good in this match. They've waited a little bit too long to use that Fatal Push, I think. Snapcaster Mage. Probably going to grab Fatal Push for this other one. Yep. Coming for 4. They're going to be coming in for 7 next turn, which is lethal. Worth noting. Booyah! Oh! Oh, they didn't fetch. That's right. Cling to Dust. That's a good one to have. Let's gain some life here. Prevent us from losing the game this turn. If they go for an all-out swing, I think we'll be able to force them to fetch or to search their library, and then we'll have them. They're tapping out for Lily. Okay. All right, and I think that'll get them. They probably aren't running, what's it, that one blue spell that bolts or basically bolts somebody from. Shoot, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. All right, against some Fangled control deck. Yeah, Mesmeric Orb wins that game for sure. This stuff's mostly fine. Don't necessarily want surgical. Yeah, they're not really playing like a creature deck. I think I'll just go like that. Bring in a couple board wipes. It'll be all about getting to that Mesmeric Orb. All right. Damnation looks pretty good here. Wouldn't be surprised if that gets like thought seized away though at some point. But this hand does have Mesmeric Orb, which is the game-winning card. All right, they'll probably take the orb here, I imagine. They cannot take Damnation. Drown in the Loch, not a bad draw there. We'll just visions at the end of their turn. Alright, they'll go for a fetch. Shock that in. Bitter Blossom, hey? Yep, Bitter Blossom goes down. There's a Delta. We'll shock that in just to conceal information. Actually, you know what? This should probably be an Inquisition here. Their own Drown in the Loch, Snapcaster, Serum Visions. No land from them. I think I'll take their Drown. Go Serum Visions. How do you scry, my friend? 2 to the bottom. They're probably looking for lands then. Inquisition us. They'll probably take our drown here then. I would imagine. Yeah. All right. They got a fresh-faced fairy. Coming in for 1. Take it. Take my beats. Mill him for a good chunk here. Put the cat in the hand. Cat's in the bag. All right. Taking 2 in the air from the Faeries. They can snap. Let's see. Do they have a counterspell in their graveyard that they can snap into with my Damnation? Mystical Dispute only hits the blue spells. They could have Drown on the Loch in hand. I'm going to go for it. Archmage's Charm. Sure, you got it. I think they were planning on Archmage's Charming whatever we played that turn anyway. So whether it was Damnation or if it was Lurrus. Yeah, exactly. Field of Ruin, that's a pretty good draw from them. Like for us to see anyway. Fortunately, the Lurrus can bring back the orb. Is also the way that I'm looking at it. Let's see. But they do have Snap, Drown, and the Lockup now. Crab. So Hedron Crab brings out Snap something. At least like that. I like where this is going. We just got to get their thing in a graveyard. Let's see. Okay, they play Snapcaster. What are they picking? Fatal Push. Tails End. But yeah, the damage that we're going to take from Bitter Blossom pretty soon here is going to be pretty thick. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It'll be 7 next turn. So blocking with the crab changes no math. Ashiok. Looks good. Hmm. So I think we're dead. 5 gets through for sure. We gain 3 off of Lurrus. I think that's Exacxes. Oh, they just don't even attack there. Yeah, well, they didn't get to the 20th card in the graveyard, which kind of sucks. But yeah, Bitter Blossom gets us for sure that time. Yeah, I'm gonna run it back. I'm pretty happy with. All right, game 3, match 5 determines whether this league was mildly successful or a moderate failure. All right, we'll be on the play. Sure. Gonna start with some Watery Grave and a Ruined Crab. That's the thick crab. So what we're hoping for is a fetch here. No fetch. Island, though. That's kind of strange from them. Usually you see... That means that they did not have either a Fatal Push or Hand Attack in hand, which means they probably kept a bad hand. Sorry for judging. They scry 2, 1 on top, 1 on bottom. That's too bad. They go that one that you put on top goes to the graveyard. That was a Bitter Blossom. Funny how that works. And we can drown the Loch any sort of pressure that they put on us this turn. Land here would be great. Sick. Field of screwing with your mana base. Serum Visions. Two cards to the bottom. Polluted Delta from them. I'm going to take a Fatal Push out of their graveyard. They're thinking about fetching here. Give the library the old shuffle, the old once over. That's a no-go from them. Creeping Tar Pit. Now they'll go with the fetch. Let's see what they do if I do that. Okay, they're going to counter that. So if that's the case, I'll blow up Creeping Tar Pit. All right, they are down to 20. They got lands in hand. We're going to grab the cat. Cat's in the bag. Flooded Strand. They'll go a fetching. There's the orb. We'll bring back the crab. Mystic Sanctuary from them. What are they going to put on top? Drown. Cryptic Command's probably a good choice. They grab Archmage's Charm. They're going to try and take our crab, I think. Or maybe just have a counterspell up. Who knows? Tail's End. Let's gain back some life here. Nothing I can do otherwise. No mill in this turn, unfortunately. They've got Archmage's Charm. And they're going to draw 2 cards with it. There's that Field of Ruin of theirs. And they'll scoop it up. Success. Success. Yeah, I don't know why they went with the... So they went with the Archmage's Charm to draw 2 cards when they were like at 17 cards in library. Yeah. And then they went with when they had Cryptic Command in their graveyard, which was maybe the better play, so they can loop some Sanctuary. Sanctuary looping Cryptic Command is pretty good against Mill in the sense that you kind of never draw out your library. But it's obviously like susceptible to Mill by putting something on top. Let's take a look at what's in the chest. What's in the box? A Bomat Courier. Modern All-Star Bomat Courier. So for 1 colorless, you get a 1/1 artifact creature with Haste. Somebody's going to have to like double check what Haste is. But whenever it attacks, you exile the top card of your library face down. For red, you can discard your hand. Ouch. Downside. Sack Bomat Courier. Down a card in play. Oh my. But you put all the cards exiled with Bomat Courier into their owner's hand. So now, I know what you're thinking. Well, why would I discard my whole hand for like 1 or 2 cards? Well, silly. When it's like the whole game, you it's a lot of cards if the Bomat Courier is surviving. And maybe you're playing a red deck, so you're down to like no cards in hand. That's like 0 downside. Anyway, that was I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I don't know. What did this list do anything for you? I don't know. It did something for me. Didn't get to cast Force of Despair. My personal favorite.